What's up, guys? We're back with another market review. Let's go ahead and see what the heck is going on. Many news, many things have happened since the last market review that we have done for the whole market. We will look today at S&P 500, gold, of course, many different stocks that I'm looking at right now, and a little on Bitcoin. We looked at MicroStrategy and Bitcoin on the last episode. So today we'll focus more on S&P and the stocks, and the stock market. So let's go ahead and see. S&P topped as expected. It topped. We had this huge run for many weeks. I think that's more than 10 weeks. So the only thing that I expect from now on is a drop. That drop, I think, will last a month at least. It started at the end of July and we started dropping in August. So I expect that we'll finish August with a drop. Even if the market takes a breath higher, I think we'll still land around 4200. So this presents an opportunity to buy if you are a believer that in the longer term S&P will still run like it always does. Look at that. Look at its past. If you're a believer that this will keep happening, then the most likely outcome is that it will wind up higher in 1 year from now, and this just presents an opportunity for us to buy. So that's what I'm doing. I have bought a lot over the last couple of days, and I'll keep buying, and I'll tell you what I'm looking at right now. The 3 to 5 stocks I'm looking at right now. That's basically the story for S&P. That's what I expect. Let's go ahead and look at the dollar now. Dollar is in this big downtrend, but it shows a lot of strength over the last couple of weeks, and that has some people worried. I don't know if that continues, but if it continues and it breaks these lower lows, these lower highs that it had, then if that breaks, it will start to consolidate more, and that won't be that good for the prices of different stocks and stuff, or Bitcoin, for the remainder of 2023. If we go ahead and look at some stocks, like we already look at MicroStrategy. I told you I sold MicroStrategy. It didn't bounce up from here, but I started buying already. But since we lost that line, here, and we didn't use the 200-week moving average that Bitcoin has around 2700 right now, since we didn't use this line, then what I think will happen for MicroStrategy is that it will drop even lower. Usually when Bitcoin loses the 200-week moving average, and we hit the first close under the 200-week moving average right now for the year since January. The problem is that when Bitcoin closes below the 200-week moving average, usually we have more of a drop. We have a higher drop. So, of course, no one knows what will happen, but it will take us some time to reclaim it. And until then, MicroStrategy and Bitcoin will be going up and down basically endlessly. So that's probably the main scenario for the remainder of the year, especially if we lose 24.8k. If we lose this line, then for sure we'll spend the remainder of 2023 over here, up and down. That's the scenario for Bitcoin. But if we hold it, but I don't see. Usually you see a very recovery. Right now you didn't see that. So since we didn't see that very recovery, it's kind of hard for us to have the confidence that we'll wind up higher and it won't drop even more. That's for the short term. For the longer term, the story is still positive, so I don't really mind. That's for Bitcoin right now and MicroStrategy. I'll keep buying. I'll keep DCAing into both Bitcoin and MicroStrategy. And let's see the other stocks. Apple topped along with the market and is already down like more than 10%. That is, 10% plus. That's like 11% or 12% for all the way from 200 to 171 right now, 174 right now. So Apple is already down like 10%. That's one thing. We have the earnings. Oh, we already had the earnings. That's a dividend date. What is that? I don't know what that is. Anyway, Tesla is a nice one. Tesla is a nice one that I'm looking at that I think I might buy. And I'll tell you why. We have some confluence. I watched this. I saw this actually from another investor. So I didn't notice this myself, but I can tell it to you guys too. So there is this line right here, this uptrend that we haven't broken yet. There is this. Then there is this horizontal line that I can draw here. Exactly right here. Look at that. Support. And we have this higher trend line, support. It will probably we already have two reasons to get in right here. To use this as a support. And look at that. It meets exactly. Oh, sorry for that. And look at that. From the top, it meets exactly. So it's almost like Tesla needs to make sure it can hold this, and then it can wind up higher. So it will use it as support 3 different ways, and it will test it as a support line again after it broke away from this how is it called? Basically, it was going it was going downhill, and now it will test it and maybe use it as support. So that's a very big line for us. It's very important. I would love to buy a Tesla below 200 right now. I had a small position. I entered around 150 from this cycle and sold like 230, somewhere around there. That was a nice gain. Not a huge one, but it was a nice gain. I would love to enter Tesla around these prices and maybe even lower, but this is a huge support line as it seems. So I think some people are gonna step in right here and maybe use it. Relative to the rest of the market, I don't know if the rest of the market can take a breath. And it's hard for me to believe that Tesla will hold alone this line right here. So I don't know what will happen, but yeah, that's what I see in the Tesla chart right now. Shopify is kinda in a tough position. It's trying to hold this uptrend that it has with its teeth, but it looks like it's kind of hard for it. If the market keeps dropping, I don't know whether Shopify will be able to hold this line right here at 52. It will be very tough for Shopify. I hope it does. I hope it does hold it, because the stock has been through so much that I hope it does. Or it will definitely be tough for it. That's for sure. What is that keeps showing up? Anyway, PayPal is below its lows. It's still trying to make a bottom and set a trend line. It set a base. That's a line to see. Some people are stepping in right here. A lot of people are believing in PayPal that it can double. That's one other stock. SPGI. I started my position. Oh, sorry for this, guys. I started my position again on SPGI, right here exactly. But since we went back in this consolidation period, then you can make the case that it will drop even lower. That's one thing I have in the back of my mind. But those prices are still good to enter, for me at least, for the longer term. So I don't mind stepping in and buying here. But since we went back into that box, then you can make the case that we can drop even back to 320 to 350. Those are some lines to see. Gold. So gold had a failed cycle right here almost. We need to see dollar dropping so gold can run a bit, which is tough. We haven't seen that yet, but that would be the ideal scenario for gold right now. Maybe make a run around to 1930 or 1950. That would be the ideal place. If you held some gold and you would like to unload it, that would be the ideal place to unload it. Since we had that uptrend, but we broke it, and we didn't set new all-time highs. We didn't start a new cycle to go and make new all-time highs, and now we had the failed cycle, which is the opposite of what we expected. Yeah, those were maybe, if we see a run right here, it will probably take a breath sooner or later. This will be a good time to unload some of your gold if you have some. You can either hold it for the longer term as well. You can do that too, but yeah, I'm just sharing some ideas right now, some trading ideas. And that's all. That's all basically. Bitcoin dropped too, as I said, as I started with, and it's now below the 200-week moving average. Those are usually good prices to buy for the long term. Any time that we're below this red line, as you can see on the chart, are usually very good times to buy for the long term. So I don't really mind buying here, since we have the ETFs coming in a couple of years, maybe many months. The Bitcoin halving coming in less than 1 year. There are many big things happening soon, so I don't mind buying here. What's the realized price for Bitcoin right now? It's around 21. Okay, around 21. I don't mind. I think Bitcoin can maybe test this. Bitcoin can maybe test this before going and resuming its bull market. Look at that. It usually tests that. Look at this bear market here. It goes higher, but then it comes back almost to test it, almost, and then continues to make this bull run. Then it drops below the realized price, comes back to test it, loses it, then goes back again, and then begins to make its bull market again. So the scenario that I see right now for Bitcoin is that we'll probably spend maybe 2023 to set a base, since we lost this trend line, if we don't reclaim it soon. You can only get very bullish again if we go higher than 30k, and then you can maybe say that this uptrend will resume. But until then, you can say that for the remainder of 2023, we're probably spending a lot more time around these prices, set a base, then retest the 2022, is that 2021 all-time highs at 2024, and then make new all-time highs at 2025 or something. That's the scenario I see. It will take a lot of time, or 2024 ideal scenario for new all-time highs. That's the scenario that I see right now for Bitcoin. Even though we have many things happening, I think it will take time for it to all play out. You can make free money. You can make. Not everyone will be able to hold throughout this bull market, and that's why only few will be rewarded. I plan on being one of those few. And that's all for this video, guys. We analyzed the market, S&P, dollar, the dollar, some stocks that I'm looking at right now, gold, Bitcoin, crypto, and I'll see you in the next one.